Are we like representing them the way they're supposed to be represented? Are we rewarding their efforts, the work they're doing? Are we valuing them? She talked about the minimum wage. Are we affecting the minimum wage, even if it is in the general wage orders that was adopted last year, 2024 November? Are we giving them contracts? All of us here, I want to believe we have contracts, but most especially those who don't have, is the two of them or this plus the community leader probably. Are we calling them and telling them, come and just do this job, and then you fail to pay them because no one saw you, no one proved that they worked in your household? Are we giving them the off days they said? Are we providing the protective gears to them? You'll find most of the domestic workers having majeraha kwa mkono because of the chemicals they're using. The employer has failed to provide even gloves for them to protect them from the chemicals they're using for cleaning. Are we are we giving this domestic worker space to feel like this work is important as the work that they go to office? As we fight for the rights of those who are in formal sectors of employment, the same employers, do you give the rights that you have sought from your employer to this domestic worker, to this caregiver, to this paid care worker? So those are the things that the program wishes to accomplish, and we also create awareness. Like we are here today, probably there is an employer out there who does not know that a domestic worker has a right. Sometimes we could blame them and they don't know that kumbe this is a work like any other. There is this name that we are used calling them house help. Why are you calling them house help and there is an employment relationship? You're paying them for the services they provide for you. So how do you value that?
So wanatakana kuitwa?
Wanatakana kuitwa domestic workers according to the Convention 189 ILO that speaks about decent work for domestic workers. I don't know if we will get more time to expound on that. So
we'll see how that goes. But I really appreciate that we're talking about this, and I'd want to just put it out there that kama uko hapo and you know that you are a domestic worker, maybe you'd want to join the union, Kudheiha, so that you'll be able, to also just understand what are your rights. When you get to understand it and you have people who back you, then it becomes easier for you to actually vocalize it na uiseme vizuri. So kama ungetaka kujua how to join, pia endelea kutu text. So I'll just remind you that this is SNS and Saved and Sound, and of course we are right here at MBCI TV and radio, and this is your most trusted station. Okay, so today we will be having your questions, tutakuwa tunazijibu as well. So our numbers ni zile, that is 0721105105 on WhatsApp, of course 23813 our SMS code, which is absolutely free of charge by the way. So kienda pale ututext kwenye 23813, tutakuwa tunapata ujumbe wako loud and clear. We are live on YouTube, that is MBCI TV official Kenya. So ukienda pale utaweza kutufuata loud and clear, so you can share this as well so that other people might be able to see na pia wasaidike. Ukienda pale kwenye comment section, text us, tutaweza kupata ujumbe wako loud and clear. And of course on the other side on MBCI radio Facebook page in the comment section, tutakuwa tunapata ujumbe wako loud and clear. Already I see we have messages coming in. In a very short while we'll be joined with another amazing lady ambaye pia atakuwa kutusaidia kujibu some of the questions. All right, now kwenye upande wa Facebook ninaona tuko na squeezy we have names. Pia ukituambia tuambie unaitwa nani. If we rely on your Facebook names, kidogo we will call you maneno zingine zenye labda they're not really true, but we see we have Luke Junior KE. Alright, anasema natusikiza kutoka upande wa Bungoma, eneo la bunge Kimilili. Asante sana, God bless you. Tuko na mwingine anasema tuko pamoja mpaka tamati. Asante sana Mwangi Wairago, big up yourself. tuko na Keith Kanuna anasema good morning to you as well, lakini say tuko almost 12, we have a few minutes to 12. It's alright, it's still morning. Anasema tuko pamoja sana kwa upande wa Kitui. Asante, God bless you. Tuko na Regina anasema anatufuata, we'd love to know natufuata kutoka wapi. Umetuambia about photos, pictures ambazo ziko on TV. It's alright, watu wetu wa mitambo watakuwa wanaiangalia. Asante sana for your feedback, God bless you Regina, big up yourself. Tuko na Balozi David anasema anatusikiza tuko upande wa Bungoma County. Asante, big up yourself. Tuko na Pastor Eric, nimekuona. Tuko na Rose, asante, God bless you. Tuko na Okinda anasema mwapendeza sana. Asante, wapendeza pia, we believe. Tuko na Kamangi Mas, nimeona ujumbe wako, God bless you. Now, I'd love to give you this opportunity as well. You can always tell us, who are you wishing a happy International Women's Day to? Hatutakani kumaliza isho kama ujawish your mother, your sister, your partner, your wife, your friend a happy International Women's Day. So I'll be giving you this chance. Alright? Tuambie katika nambari zetu, who would you want to wish a happy International Women's Day to this amazing morning? And on behalf of you as SNS, tutakuwa tunawaambia loud and clear. So please feel free. Alright? Tuko na Timothy, nimeona ujumbe wako unasema wewe ni mjukuu wa Shingongo. Alright? Asante sana, God bless you. Tuko na Pastor Robinson kutoka upande wa Tarbo. Oh, upande wa Tarbo. We were talking about Tarbo the other day. Ni upande wa Eldoret, yeah? Watu Eldoret. Okay. Nimeona ujumbe wako unasema you want to wish your beautiful wife ambaye anaitwa Sly Sylvia na Mwalwa. Alright. Asante sana, nimeona ujumbe wako. So to Sylvia, happy International Women's Day from your husband Pastor Robinson kutoka Tarbo. God bless you. Big up yourself. Alright, so kukukumbusha tu tuko na Kudheiha, and we're here just to talk about, celebrating women, but also celebrating the workers in Kenya, not even in Nakuru, in Kenya. So kama uko pale, you're a public worker, please tell us what you think about the same. Talk to us, and numbers are very open, and we'll be getting into this particular discussion. I know that the team will be assisting us. Tutakuwa joined na Lucy. Asante sana for that. All right. Now, we'd love to know, we have a project ambao naifanya sahi. You want to tell us about it. Now, we'd love to know ambavo unaendelea. You've been working with Kudheiha for quite some time now, I know.
Yeah.
Now, tell us about the projects that you have.
Yeah, like I mentioned, currently we have the Time to Care project that is running.
Okay.
I mentioned that the ultimate goal of outcome of TTC, we have dubbed it TTC, Time to Care.
Time to Care.
Yes.
Okay.
The ultimate goal of TTC is to improve to see the improvement of gender equality in care infrastructure for women and girls in Kenya. This program is supported by Oxfam in Kenya, Oxfam Canada, Global Affairs Canada, and we have two implementing partners, which is Kudheiha and Youth Alive Kenya. I think I had mentioned that earlier. So we are majorly looking into issues of care work, the paid and unpaid care work, and what do we do to ensure we achieve all this? We create awareness of some of the activities we do in this Time to Care is creation of awareness of the rights of the paid care workers, especially for Kudheiha side, and Youth Alive deals majorly with the unpaid care workers, but we work together hand in hand. So we ensure that our members or the general public gets to know that domestic workers have a right just like any other worker. We also create awareness, we train, we do capacity building to these domestic workers themselves to also understand their rights. Secondly, we have developed a training manual through TTC that is majorly for training domestic workers in terms of work readiness. What do you need to have when you're going to your workplace? In terms of relationship between you and your employer. We cannot say all the time that the employer is on the fault all the time. Yes, and yet in a place where there is more than one human being, we cannot say that there is always smooth understanding of each other. There's a time that we would have conflicts, maybe misunderstandings, grievances, disputes, and now we teach them on how to relate with their employers, because one of our key roles is to ensure good industrial relationship at the industry between the worker and their employer. So we teach them that. We also train them on the issues of GBV, gender-based violence, because you see, this is a very unique sector. It's not like your workplace whereby you walk in the gate and the gateman knows you're here, your colleagues knows you're here. That is a one-to-one employer-employee relationship. One employer, one employee. How then do we confirm that truly this was your employer, this was your employee? It's a unique sector, and we teach them how to protect themselves in terms of GBV, how to report, where the reporting mechanisms, the pathways, because now you see Kudheiha deals with the issues of labor matters, but this is an issue that has emerged during your work or within your workspace, in your workplace. So it touches us in a way. So we teach you on how to protect yourself, the reporting mechanism, the pathways to where to report to, especially now that the developed government has a gender desk that deals with the issues of gender, maybe GBV, issues of SGBV as well. And you know, domestic sector is a sector that is manned, that has long been dominated with women. We rarely find men doing domestic work. You can agree with me.
Very rare. Very rare.
Yes. And I don't know where this came to change, because from when our union was started, that is way back in 1942, it was men who started it, and it started as Domestic Worker Servants Association. So it was men who were working for the whites as domestic workers. So it came like that, and it was then registered in 1951 in 27th November. You will think I was there. But
you have the details.
Mastered, because that is where I work from, and I love my job. So when it was registered is where now it was given a right to represent workers in these other sectors, because that is how it kept forming. These other sectors kept forming. Those who were domestic workers, they could be taken to work in schools, to cook, because now those are the only ones who had been trained to work. And then kidogo hotels came up. Kidogo now we have hospitals. So we train them on matters labor. We also have issues training them on how to negotiate for their better terms. Like I mentioned, it's an individual employer, individual employee. Most of the time we will not be there as a union. As we tell them, as you go to seek for employment, if you find that employer, this is what you speak for yourself. Learn to speak. This is how you ask for your rights. They are actually your rights. You negotiate and see how you can come into terms and acceptance. In our training manual as well, it is a very comprehensive training manual that has all this content. We have also included the ILO conventions, C189 and C190. C189 speaks majorly about the decent work for domestic workers, considering this is an ILO convention. And Kudheiha is very much interested having this convention ratified. We have done quite a number of advocacy on the same convention. We have done a number of things on campaigning for its ratification. In 2023 May Day, that is Labor Day, That is our big day. We normally celebrate it with our domestic workers. In fact, last year we did it here in Nakuru, we did in Nairobi, we did in Mombasa, the major cities.
That's good.
In 2023 May Day, the Labor Day, the president promised us to ratify the convention. We were the most happy lot. But today it has not been ratified, but we don't give up. We keep being hopeful and pushing for it to be ratified. Because when this is one of the policies that is going to give us a mileage in achieving the rights of domestic workers in our country, most especially. And if it is ratified, we'll say that this is when our country will have recognized a domestic worker as a worker. And which maybe just to mention, our labor laws does not discriminate. That is one great thing. As a worker, it governs you. It governs him. It governs the domestic workers. Everyone who is an employee. Our labor law speaks about that. The gap is the implementation. That employer who does not know the current minimum wage, how would they implement? That employer who thinks that a domestic worker is a house help, how will they give them a working contract? It is difficult. So we create awareness all round to them, from the employees, the domestic workers, to the employers, to the general public, because you don't know where your child will fall to. You don't even know how your niece or your nephew or your relative will work for.
Even you yourself at some point.
Even me myself. Maybe just to confess, I've done domestic work, but I did it for 1 month. Ilikuwa moto, singestahimili.
And imagine there are people who do that daily, on a daily basis. And I loved what Mary said. Na nimeona kuna a lot of comments on that, when she said that the minimum wage is supposed to be 16,000, but most of the people don't know that. That is why we are doing the sensitization that we are doing now. Kwa sababu sasa nimeona watu wengi wako like, what do you mean 16,000? Which means there are very many people who don't know about that, and many more ambazo ziko entailed there. And I also loved this conversation, because yesterday I was having a conversation with one of the amazing ladies who does cleaning at Airbnbs. So Jana, we had a very long conversation, funny enough, and we were talking about how that work environment looks like, and what it takes, and how sometimes she'd get very tired and she has to work with the kid who is really young, really like a small baby sometimes, because atamwacha wapi? She's the one providing. Of course, she wouldn't just hatapata enough money ya kulipa mtu mwingine akaenda mtoto ama kupeleka mtoto wake for a babysitter. So lazima afanye kazi na mtoto wake. And we were just talking about what the work environment looks like. So if you're one of those people, Kudheiha is where you get help, is where you get the information, and this is where you'll be able to learn exactly what you need to learn. Maybe Maurice, you can tell us, as the men, you know, we are talking about the women and what they're supposed to do. Na vile ambavyo wanaweza kujoin Kudheiha to get the information that they need to, and even speak to the public as much as they can. What is your place as men?
Kwanza nilikuambia pia mimi ni male champion. Ambayo male champion kazi yetu haswa ni tunahamasisha wanaume wenzetu watambue wanawake na watambue kazi yao pia. Naweza sema watu wengi, nikianzia upande ya wale domestic workers, mara mingi watu wajiri au wakiona ni watu maskini, mtu hajasoma, mtu ambaye yeye anasaidia, yani anamuona kwa kiwango cha umaskini wake, ile hali hajajua kwamba ni kazi kama kazi yake yenye ameajiriwa kwingine, na kazi yake anaweza kuwa anafanya 8 hours bila haiko na lunch time na kupumzika, lakini huyu anataka afanye kazi kama 16 hours na alale dakika kidogo tena amuke. Kwa hivyo kila ambacho mimi ninasema upande venye umeniuliza, tunataka hii kazi itambuliwe. Tunataka watu wote wenye wanatusikiza wajua kwamba venye Mary amesema inatakana mshahara ya chini ya Kenya ikuwe 16,000. Tunasema ya kwamba hao watu wajiunge usiende kutafuta kazi individual. Na kuwa kwa kikundi, na baada ya kuwa kwa kikundi muwe members wa Kudheiha. Na sisi kama community tunataka tusukume serikali ya kwamba, kwa sababu Madam Gloria amesema ya kwamba katika sheria zetu za labor wafanyikazi wametambuliwa. Ile kitu natakana ni msukumo ya national government na county government na kuona kwamba hawa watu wamekuja pamoja. Na pia naweza sema kwa waajiri waruhusu waajiri wewe mahali ambapo umeajiriwa uko kwa union. Kama wewe ni mwalimu uko kwa union, kama popote uko kwa union. Kwa nini unakataza ule mfanyikazi ambaye umeajiri nyumbani kuingia kwa union? Waruhusu waingie kwa union. Baada ya kuingia kwa union, nao pia lipa huyu mtu mshahara yenye hata wewe mwenyewe ukilipwa utakuwa sawa nao. Si atuone uchukue huyu mtu kama mtu maskini mwenye unasaidia mtu ambayo hafai, sio kitu mzuri. Kwa hivyo national government na county government tunataka watilie msukumo na wa enforce hizo sheria. Na kama sasa hiyo ukipita hii Masai Road wanaitaga base, utakuta hapa karibu na Victornell nursery, utakuta wamama wamekaa hapo wanangojea hizo apartment. Tunataka county government iwekwe sheria ambaye hawa wakishakuja pamoja katika apartment, vile inakuwaga, unaona hii grupu ya maaskari, unajua kwamba kama tuseme kwa mfano hapa MBCI, wale maaskari ambao wako mlangoni wako kwa kampuni moja ambayo hao ndio wana shift mahali hapa. Ikiwa wakishakuwa pamoja, wale wenye wanakuwa kwa base na wale wenye wanakuwa pale Ngala wakiwa pamoja na ni members wa Kudheiha, hizi apartment ama affordable house wanaweza andikia county government iwape kila mpangaji ama ule mwenye anaishi katika hiyo apartment. Wale wafanyikazi ambao wanafanya hapo kwa hiyo apartment yote iwe ni ile group ambayo imetambuliwa na Kudheiha na wamekuwa registered na pia waiko na chama yao ili watambuliwe. Imagine kuna wengine wanafanya hii kazi, tuseme reserve, sio town. Mama anakuja anafanya kazi kwa boma yako, anafanya kila kitu, dakika ya mwisho unamlipa na viazi gorogoro moja, unamwambia hii viazi gorogoro moja enda pikie watoto bila hata ndururu. Na amefanya paka amechoka. Hii kazi lazima Kenya itambue, bunge zote itambue na serikali itambue. Na hiyo ndio roli yetu yenye tunataka tusukumane naye na serikali through petitions, through memorandums, through nini, hizo zote tunataka kusukuma hivyo. Na hawa pia tunataka wakuje pamoja, tayari washa register. Kama Nakuru domestic workers wamekuwa registers kama self help group. Tunataka washiriki katika hizi mambo ya budget. Na wakishashiriki katika hizi mambo ya budget, serikali iweze kuwatambua na kwa tengea pesa ya masomo kidogo, kwa sababu saa hizi kuna vifaa ambazo zinatumika nyumbani ambazo saa zingine yeye ajui, kama yeye kuosha nguo, kupiga pasi, hizi vitu za stima. At least akuwe na knowledge ya mahali ambapo county government inaweza waelimisha ili wakipata hiyo kazi yeye anapata hiyo kazi, kwa sababu ujui utapata tajiri mgani. Tajiri mwingine yuko busy, mwingine mjeuri atakwambia nyumba ndio hiyo, kila kitu ndio hiyo, nataka ufanye hivi na hivi na aende. Na ujui kuoperate hizo vitu. Unaweza choma nyumba, unaweza jiua. Kwa hivyo tunataka county government iwaelimishe katika hiyo njia na walipo pesa mzuri.
Asante sana. Wow, that is so wholesome. That is so wholesome. Na nimependa mahali memalizia that it is very important for them to be educated. Very important. Tumekuwa na hizo kesi ambazo unasikia mtu alienda kuoperate kitu ikaharibika, sasa analipishwa, unashangaa pesa analipo, unatakana kulipa a machine ambayo uliharibu, ama unatakana kufanya nini?
100,000. Huyu unamlipa 2,000.
Surely utasaidikaje? Now tuko pia na Lucy Wangeshi. We were having Mary just now. Asante sana for being here, by the way. So sasa tuko na Lucy, who is one of the domestic workers as well. So Lucy, asante sana for being here. Tafadhali salimia watu alafu tutakuwa tukianza.
Habari zenu.
Mzuri sana.
I would wish every woman worldwide. A very happy International Women's Day. Kila mama ambaye ako pale, yule msichana ako pale, have a very 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 happy Women's Day. I am Lucy Wangeshi. Ninafanya kazi kama domestic worker. Yeah.
All right, asante sana. Sasa ningetaka uongeleshe the other domestic workers. Maybe we'd want to know currently. Unajua kuna mtu anasikia about domestic workers sahi na yeye ni domestic worker but hajawahi jua that there's a name, there's a union, kuna mahali anaweza saidika. Maybe you can just talk to them and tell them as of now how different do you think it is, or do you feel like it is now that you are under Kudheiha na una work na wao? Is it the same na mtu ambaye ana work tu kivyake, unaamka asubuhi unaenda unatafuta kazi unarudi kwa nyumba? Would you say it's different?
For me, for the time nimekuwa na under the union, nimekuwa nikifeel at least niko na place I can run to anytime I'm in need. Kwa sababu mostly cases huwa zina happen ambapo unajikuta labda hujapata haki yako. Una feel like you are not satisfied with wherever you are or whatever you are doing, and with this union at least unajua if anything happens you have a place to run to. Si feel venye nilikuwa kitambo, kwa sababu kitambo ulikuwa tu unachukuliwa huko unaenda unafanya kazi and unaamka labda asubuhi mdozi anakuambia you know what time kazi imeisha na unatoka unaenda. Right now kuna watu wanapitia masaibu, unaenda kazi unafanya mwezi moja, mbili, tatu, mwaka moja, halafu sasa mwisho wa wakati unafukuzwa just like that. Na sometimes haujapewa mshahara, sometimes yani umefanywa dhuluma, kwa sababu these things are actually happening out here. So at least ningetaka kuambia domestic workers wenzangu, ni vizuri kukuwa na mahali kwenye unajua unaweza kimbilia, because these people surely will defend you. They will take care of you. Si ngumu kujoin, lakini with kidogo ama with whatever however you would get there, at least unajua ukienda pale your problem will be sorted. Ni vizuri at least hata ukienda kufanya kazi, kwa sababu this person ni mgeni kwako na watu hubadilika with time. Wakati unakimbia mahali kama pale, unaenda unaambia issues zako, labda ukupewa mshahara, ulifukuzwa wrong time, unafanyishwa kazi mingi, unaona unajua at least hata yule naye mwenye amekuandika anajua huyu mtu ako na mahali anaweza jiria. Anajua kuna mahali mwisho wa siku anaweza pata msaada. So hata yule atakuwa anajua we nikiguza huyu ako protected. Because utaenda tu attack mtu like that, unajua mwisho wa siku you will be utakuwa na shida. So I would advise everyone mwenye anataka angependa kujoin hii union, you are most welcome. It is helpful, it is very supportive, na wako pamoja kila wakati.
Amazing. I absolutely love that. Now, najua kuna mtu ambaye amesikiza, and I'll just read ndio tuone ukweli we are reading from, so I have watu ambao wanasema kama Grace kutoka Kitale, anasema anaomba kazi ya domestic worker. Yes, I see a few messages za watu ambao wanauliza how would they get such jobs. Now from Kudheiha, is it possible kama mtu yuko a member of Kudheiha, is it possible to get these jobs? Do you also provide that platform?
Wonderful. Thank you very much for such questions. As a union, we are not allowed to place for employment, but you see, through Time to Care still, one of the activities is to link up the domestic workers with the accredited, they used to call themselves bureaus, but now skizi wanasema bureaus ni chini sana. And then what I love most about that person who has asked that question, you see, that is someone who has recognized that domestic work is work. And she's willing to do domestic work. So there's nothing bad about being a domestic worker. So what we do is that through that activity, that particular activity of linkages, we bring on board the registered, the accredited bureaus. Nowadays they call themselves agencies, but not those who place internationally, locally. We want to see that these bureaus are registered, through the government provisions, I believe through the NEA, the National Employment Authority, so that we know that this person has placed so and so to work. So that we don't go and read want house help, call this number. I think we are familiar with that phrase in all these places we go. That number you're calling, you don't know that person. You're connecting someone's person to a number, to a person that you don't know. What will happen if they don't get along well? So we want to do these things in a way that is in the right way. We connect you to the bureau that is registered with the government, so that in case anything happens, we have the bureau to answer. Why was this person not given their rights? Why was this person, you are the one who placed this to this employer? Why is even why has the domestic worker done this bad thing to this employer? Because Sharia inakata pande zote.
So it's two-way.
Yes, it's two-way. The domestic worker has their rights, as well as the employer has their rights. So, and you see, these are also part of the awareness creation that we create. That as much as we empower our own domestic workers, we also let them know that if you do this bad thing, this is what will happen to you. You will be answerable. And so at the moment, through Time to Care, we have the HMMAA, that is the House Managers Agency Association, that we are in talks together. We are trying to see how we can create the synergies together. This agency aims at bringing all the bureaus together to register through this agency, that is the House Management Agencies Association, so that they are known that my agency is this name, Joan Gloria Bureau something, and I'm registered to HMMA. The HMMA is registered to NEA, has been accredited to place domestic workers. So I would say that if she's interested, she can walk into our, by the way, we have 38 branches countrywide.
Naona kuna mtu anasema this is very great. Tuko Nyeri. Where are you? Do you have a union in Nyeri?
Yes, we have 38 branches countrywide. We also have 6 sub branches in those various branches. In some of the branches. So wherever anyone is in your county, you don't have to come all the way to Nairobi or to Nakuru. Or just to Mombasa. We have an office in Kitale, we have an office in Eldoret, the major cities, and many others, other places. So you'll just find our office. Maybe later we can give you a brochure that gives all our offices, so that you can post for us, and anyone can get access to our office from wherever they are. This is to ease in and to make people get close. We want to get closer to the people, to the workers, to domestic workers, to the employers, and bring services closer to you. Yes, thank you.
Please follow closely on our Facebook page, that is on MBCI Radio. You'll be getting that information there, so that tujue kutoka mahali yuko, how would you be able to get to the Kudheiha's office? But now, for anyone who's listening, is there a number for someone who'd want to join? Let's maybe start with, what is the process? The process gani for these domestic workers? If there's someone who's listening to us, now they've made a decision that they want to join the union today, how do they go about it?
Trade union is a membership-based organization. We operate by having members joining our union. How to join the union is that there is a registration fee of just 100 shillings. That is to make you a member, and we issue you with your card, membership card. That has your details. It has the details of your, maybe if you have an employer at that particular time. Like I told you, this sector is unique. You have an employer today, tomorrow hauna, ama jioni hauna, kesho uko na mwingine mwenye ni mtofauti. So we put your current employer's details, and we ask you to supply us with the details of your employer that you get if you change. Yeah, and then monthly subscription, a domestic worker gets to pay for the major cities it's 200 shillings.
Okay.
But for Mashinani is 150. But for the other, I told you we represent hotels, schools, hospitals.
Yeah.
They subscribe at 2% of their gross pay.
Okay.
So you see, we try to be favorable to domestic workers, trying to understand their status.
Yeah.
This is someone who can pay today and tomorrow they don't have a job, or they may be having that 200 shillings today and they don't have food.
Yeah.
So will I subject her to paying? Which one comes first?
Of course, food.
You eat, you live first before you become an employee or a member.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is how you subscribe.
Right.
You just walk into our offices in those various places.
Okay.
And you get to join.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being with us on this show.
Yes.
And this is such a beautiful way of celebrating Women's International Day.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you are a woman, we truly celebrate you. And the best way to celebrate you even now is to ask you to join this union if you are a domestic worker, because this will help you and your family. All right. So asante sana, Maurice. Thank you for being here. Of course, Joanne Gloria, asante sana for being here. Mary in absentia, asante sana. We've enjoyed having you on the show. Lucy, thank you so much. God bless you. And of course, every other woman who is represented here, asante sana. And God bless you. We do appreciate your time. Now, for someone who would want to ask something, maybe confirm something, is there a number that they'd call?
Yeah, there is a number.
Okay. We'll be getting it in a very short while. Before Tumalize, we'll be giving you a number that you can call and confirm what you need. As of now, we'll be taking a very short break. Once again, asanteni sana for being on this discussion. I know that you have gotten something. We have lots and lots of feedback. Tutakuwa tunarudi kuzisoma. I hope we'll be able to read all of them, but I see we have answered all the questions, and we'll be coming back to wish people happy International Women's Day. Naona mmewawish kweli huku ndani. We'll be able to just read whatever we can read for today. Others, asanteni sana. This has been SNS. Of course, Jamaliz, we have a few remaining minutes, and then we'll be joining in for the conference that's going on. Others, once again, this is SNS on MBCI TV and MBCI Radio. My name is Rachel Kahugu. We've had Kudheiha, an amazing union that I encourage you to join. Now, DJ Kogi will be taking the stage. That tells you it's your time to get your dancing shoes and dance and enjoy, because surely it's International Women's Day. So it's your time to enjoy.
Yeah.
Thank you so much once again. See you in a few minutes.